He's getting on her.
This week on The Fever, we're back with Travis for part 2 of his Southern Alberta archery antelope hunt.
So here we are, we're day 2, stock number 2 for the day. We kind of shifted to a different area that we focused on a little bit last year. Seen a buck with 5 or 6 does, circled around, came up an old oil lease, and basically just wanted to get to a spot where we could see him. We did find them. Unfortunately, we were on the horizon, so we were skylined. They did lock onto us, but we kind of dipped into a low spot, and while we did that, the buck ripped across this green field, and all 3 of us looked over and seen him at probably 110 yards in closing. So we all hit the deck. Dar grabbed the decoy, swung in behind Matt. I just hit the deck. I was able to range him. I think initially I had him at 77. He was standing there looking at us. And then he was curious, kind of moved a little bit. I pushed forward. I think I got to 67, something like that. And then he was kind of just shifting and moving. And 67 in this wind is a little too far, but definitely interesting. Nice buck, and it looked like his right, I think, went forward. I guess we'll have to see the footage, but kind of a unique buck, kind of like Bryce's boomerang buck. So that's number 2, both within 70 yards. So hopefully stock number 3 is a good one, and we can get a buck down for Kyle. It's the afternoon of day 2. We had a little bit of a lull, we haven't seen much. And we're back to the field where Dar shot his buck, I'm gonna say 4 years ago. So we got a medium to large size buck here with about 5 does. The wind is really, really strong. We got a fence line here we're gonna try to work our way up the fence line, try to get to 300-400 yards, pop up the decoy and just see what happens. I'll just lay down for maybe 5 minutes. Right now we're just laying down. I think we're about 400 yards from where the antelope are. They know we're here. But we found if we just lay flat, put the decoy down, give it some time, then we flip the decoy up, and I think he thinks that a buck is advancing. And last time, we actually had the decoy set up, it blew over, and as soon as I went to grab it and move it, the buck just charged right in. So right now they're feeding comfortably at about 400. I just can't believe he ran a buck off over there. We got to within about 250. We were tucked down below the grass. This was the only kind of play we could make, and then he kept looking back, and at any time he could have broke for us. He just never did. I think we just gotta get that one.
I've got to about 150 yards from this buck. Dar and Travis are going to try to sneak in a little bit closer with a decoy. I'm going to hang back here and try to film. If something goes down, hopefully I'm able to get it on camera for you guys. Hopefully Dar and Travis can break his comfort zone with that decoy and motivate him to make a charge at them. Season closes after today, so it's the last day of the hunt. Decided to try to get aggressive and go at this buck, and if it works out, great. If not, we'll move on to the next opportunity. Time to regroup, head back to the truck, and find another play here.
Basically, we come into this alfalfa, seen a buck. We didn't even actually think he was that big, and then he circled in and got on 3 does, and we could see that he hooks in nicely, so it might be the one that came in to 54 yesterday. So we get to some bales, we get into a perfect spot. They're in a low spot at 158, I think, which is perfect. Dar flipped up the decoy, and the guy, he just wasn't interested in charging us. I told Dar, I said, it's the last day, let's just try something a little different. So we just pushed right after him. I was behind the decoy, and 117, 102, I think the closest we got was 86. And he stopped a few times, turned and looked at us, but nothing. But being last day, we wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. Plus we still want to go back and see if we can find that really big one and make some sort of play on him. And that might close the trip, but hopefully we can get on him and get in close. So we're last day here. We've located the big guy. We can almost call him Mufasa because he's sitting on a hill, standing up like Mufasa from The Lion King. And he's probably a mile away. And I think he's just up there looking and scanning the whole area, waiting to spot some antelope. So we are set up with a decoy, and we're just gonna 45 straight at him. We're in a field that's just flat as a pancake, but maybe we can find a low spot where I can tuck down if he does come in. So here we go.
Get you guys set up here, and I'll back up, 50, 60 yards. I'll be behind.
He turned. Running. It's coming. Run off. That was the best buck that we've seen. We're on day 3. I think it's about 9:30 a.m. And this guy, we actually had a stalk in the morning. We wanted to come here at some point this morning to try to find him. Did a quick stalk in the alfalfa, came up here, and he was crested on the top of a hill behind us at close to a mile away, and it looked like he was just watching his kingdom. So we got set up as low as we could and she wanted to come, and then he did not want us. And he kept pushing her away, and now they're up over a hill. For those of you that are wondering, last year my dad Darwin had an archery antelope tag, and he came up with some clever idea to try to dress like an antelope. You can see here he's got old white painter's coveralls with brown material paper clip to him, black hat, black shirt. So from a distance he might look like an antelope. From 5 feet away he definitely doesn't.
I blend in well with the decoy.
I know.
And the decoy carrier.
It's not a bad idea. So that pretty much concludes our archery antelope hunt. We've been out here for 2 full days, and we're basically midway through the final day of the season for archery. Rifle season opens up on Monday. I don't know. We could do 1 loop and...
Oh, we gotta try. It's still early.
yeah. This could be our last play of the day. We do see an antelope. He's trotting away at about 250, and we're just gonna try to get the decoy up and see if he responds. Hopefully he comes in and we get a shot.
I nailed him.
Hold on.
Matthew?
Hold on. Trav, you hit him good.
It might be a little back.
No, you hit him good. He's gonna go down. Trav, buddy, you smoked him good. Oh, I don't want to celebrate too much right now till we get him.
We seen a buck. He crossed this fence. Or no, we saw him in this field here. A coyote was there, and it looked like it startled him a bit. And he worked his way along this green vegetation. Dart flipped up the decoy about 50 yards away from us. He looked back, turned, circled, and came right at us. Came to 36, and he was quartering 2, and I squeezed one off. I mean, believe it or not, this is the exact spot in 2013 that I shot my trophy antelope with a rifle. Like within 250 yards. So we saw him run, geez, probably 400 or 500 yards, and then he went into a low spot there, and I would have to think that he's down.
When I was filming, and you'll see this obviously, but right before Trav shot, he walked behind the fence post.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see him when you shot.
Okay.
But I heard the whack.
Yeah.
And as soon as he turned, I could see the arrow.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It looked like it was in him good. So sorry, guys, but it's last day of the hunt. I wasn't going to call Trav off a shot because of a fence post.
Yeah.
So
KLS.
pretty cool.
Kyle Lawrence Sturko, that was for you. I don't know if you can see that there, but we etched our fletchings, and unfortunately we lost our cousin Kyle a week Wednesday, and today is Saturday, so we're about 10 days after Kyle passed. Bright red lung blood, little feather. I thought I seen, penetration. Actually, maybe not. I might have only seen this much of the arrow. And then he was flooded with blood on the side, so
That's a good sign.
that is a good sign. Come on. He's in the water. Woo! He's in the water! Holy. He is a nice buck.
He is. I know.
How he is. My arrow's sticking out of him. Well, I don't know what to say other than thank you, Kyle. Unfortunately, we lost Kyle 10 days ago to a liver disease that ultimately took his life. I'm really sad Kyle wasn't able to be here for it, but in person, but he was here in spirit, and I know he helped me with this one. So, love you, Kyle. I miss you. We're gonna all miss you in every trip that we go on, but you're with us in spirit for sure. I think I could just slowly pull him.
Yeah, slowly.
Here we are, southern Alberta, and we had a great 2.5 days. We've seen a lot of bucks, had a lot of good opportunities. You know, got into bow range on, I would say, 3 in total, and then this was the 4th. We slipped along a fence line. Dar was able to flip up the decoy. I was able to get in position. I ranged him. I think my initial range was 47. He actually came forward. I ranged at 36. Took a deep breath. I heard Matt say, aim small. And he was slightly quartering 2, and I was able to get one in right behind the shoulder. A lot of hard work. We put on a lot of miles. This isn't the biggest antelope that we've seen, but he's got some great cutters. He swoops in nicely. He's got a nice hard shape. I had a tag in 2013, a trophy antelope tag with a rifle, and I think this one might be a better buck. So definitely not an easy hunt, but a fun one. And with Kyle looking over us, we were able to put one down here, and we'll enjoy this pronghorn, and they're actually very good eating. So this knife has got some sentimental value. Kyle got married in 2013, and myself and Ryan and Mark were in his wedding party. Matt was his best man, and for each of us, Kyle got this. He knows I like whitetails, so it's got a whitetail on it. I think Matt might have got an elk. Just a quick shout out to Kyle for that, and that gracious present that he gave us all, this Havalon knife.
Yes, it's going to be 12 years before we do it again.